Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing this halfway day through our final week of February? Things have been moving, things have been shaking. You guys have been out there grinding and putting in the work and definitely getting at it. So, how is it going? How are you guys doing? I know a lot of you are out there kicking some good butt. So keep doing the good work, keep having the good fight, and doing what you're doing. Today, I kind of want to talk to you a little bit about the post we did earlier. We've kind of been on this theme about talk about toxic leadership and poor management, poor untrained management, specifically leaders who really just don't know. Uh, but one thing kind of struck me through some various conversations with different people, both leaders and workers alike. And there's a trend that seems to be going around some specific industries where the management, and we're talking like upper management at this point, is very keen on paying the lowest possible wage for the highest skill set that you could get away with, right? And I don't necessarily want to make that as bad as it seems, right? Because there's a business dynamic to this, and you as a business owner, or leader, or manager, right? You have to kind of balance the pay per performance, right? You want to get the best bang for the buck, but you also don't want to underbid people, and you also don't want to overpay people, right? So there's definitely a balancing act here, but specifically, this a few of these industries are really like wanting the maximum, in terms of experience, education, certificates, and they're paying like entry level wages, maybe a little bit more. And there's dynamics that go into that as well, market saturation and stuff. But really, what happens is what you really tend to see is, yeah, there's that little money dynamic, but then you really start to see the personality dynamic where kind of those leaders are showing those traits about misusing their people, treating them poorly, not respecting them and their capabilities, or really misaligning their roles and talents. And this is where that education really comes into play, because when you don't understand these human dynamics and the individualism of each person and the skills they bring, you create that toxic environment where that turnover is going to be huge, right? So you see this a lot, especially in very technical roles. Um, and it creates a very hostile thing, and you start to turn and burn. We'll say help desk people, IT professionals. You see it a lot in data centers as well, and some trades. The trades are usually a little better, but they're not perfect by any means. You have those out there, but you really need to pay attention to that, because if you're misaligning your skills, you're not paying the people what they deserve, or giving them that opportunity to kind of really show their worth and kind of grow that way, you're really setting them, them, and your organization up for failure all at once, right? Because they're going to turn out, they're going to get out of there quick, fast, and in a hurry. And you would have wasted all that money getting them onboarded, getting them ready to go into the job, and then they're leaving right away. So definitely keep that in mind, because this is something that's easily fixable with the right thing. And through some discussions that we all been having on these posts, and you guys have contributed to, right? The other thing you need to look out for is understanding, one, there's not a one size fits all approach to solving these issues. Two, there's very huge dynamics across the board between different states, different areas, different tech skills and job skills, and also the leadership dynamic that goes into it. A lot of leadership is an industry. They want a one size fits all, immediate fix approach. And when it comes to organization and culture, you cannot have an immediate fix, especially one that's a one size fits all. It's not going to happen. Culture takes time, and it's a slow process. But when you foster the right culture, when you fostered that right working environment, when you've trained and you've grown your leaders and they're growing their people, it's going to pay dividends. But my question to you, especially if you're a leader or a business owner, is saving the $5 now worth losing out on the 500,000 later? And, there have been a few people who have laughed when I said that, but then they feel that burn, down the road. Again, we're talking a few years into the road. And then when they're suffering even more because now it's such a toxic accepted work environment that you're consistently complaining no one stays past 8 months, and we've all heard this, oh, people don't want to work anymore. No, people don't want to work for bad leaders in toxic environments, so of course they're going to go, you know and there's a lot of discussion about, oh, well, people with 2 years or less on their resume with multiple jobs, their job jumping and their job hopping, and they're not loyal. Well, guess what? If you're treating them like garbage and you're underpaying them, you're underutilizing them, yeah, because you know what, you're probably the same business that would have no problem laying them off quick, fast, and in a hurry when things get tight for you. So understand this human dynamic to it. I know a lot of you guys are already out there doing good things. Some of you have felt this pinch, and some of you are trying to correct this in your own organization. So keep up the good work. Just remember, it's the long game you're going for. This isn't a quick, immediate, one size fits all fix. It's going to take time, but it's well going to be worth it. All right, guys, can't wait to hear from you as we're wrapping up this week, wrapping up this month as well. And, we got some big goals to crush coming up in the remainder of the year. So can't wait to hear from you guys. Love what you're doing. Always here if you need support, help, you just want to talk, whatever the case. So always here whenever you guys need it, and stay good.